I'm really late today starting. It's already 8 o'clock. And I just feel weird, man. I feel so weird. And Stella is struggling so much. She hasn't eaten in, today will be the second day. She's eaten some treats, so, but one of her legs, she's got all these cysts that keep coming out all over her. And when there's not all these toxins, she doesn't have all these motherfucking cysts. And so she's got them all over. On her legs and stuff. And so one has turned into, she's had it happen before, but one of her legs has gotten really huge, and so I've been soaking it and soaking it, and it's not doing that much yet. So I don't know. I'm so fucking burnt out. I can't even tell you. Like, I am so fucking burnt out. Like, it just, like, how long does this just go and go and go? I'm not even gonna talk that long. Everything feels super chaotic. Everything I've been saying is happening. Like, so Chicago is a war zone, apparently. Very, very dangerous. And, kids running loose. And it's funny because I'm getting messages right now, but I'm in a group chat with my family, with my daughters. And I think one of the granddaughters, these group chats come when we try to make plans. And so then when people want to talk, they'll talk on that. And somebody had just said the one that I said that leans towards the dark. She said, is she having a bad day or something? She just sent this strange message. And I said that people need to take the devices away from the kids. Something's going on. Like, it sounds like a joke, but I'm not kidding. Like, I really do think something is going on if they are somehow, taking over their brains or something and bringing them certain information to get them pumped up and stuff. I mean, you got young people running in the streets. Like, it's gone pretty fucking crazy. And it's just going to get crazier. The cities are not going to be what the cities were. They're never going to be that again. It's completely, everything is going to be blowing up. And I had seen where somebody had shared something about the quantum thing. Because I'm telling you, every Sunday night, it's just like, are you motherfucking kidding me? Just another fucking day. Just go start another goddamn week. Let's just, it's like, oh my God, come on. And this said that the QFS started on August 15th. And so that was months ago. And, I don't know. I don't know all of this stuff, what they're doing to hold on to it, and why there has to be judges coming out and saying you don't have to pay your stuff. And they just keep it going. But Trump did come out and say, and I don't know if this is another speech or someone sharing more of this speech, but he has come out and said that the government owns like a third of the country, and that we're going to build freedom cities. They're going to be really cool, advanced, that they're trying to get the hover car thing going, like all this stuff. And that certain cities are going to just really be built out, like, they're going to go in and they're going to find a little town or whatever, and they're going to build it up and give it the theme for like the hover cars or something. He said they're going to go in and give development to all different places so that there's tons of jobs. So, there has to be a way to keep things going. It's not going to just be like a bunch of bougie millionaires out there who have got everything. That's not how it's going to go down. A lot of people are expecting these huge bank accounts to come into their account. I don't think it's going to go that way. I think it's going to, that you're not going to ever have to worry about anything. There's going to be money. There's going to be all sorts of money going into projects, humanitarian things. It's going to be more of like how you get involved and what you do is going to be, a part of it. And, but I don't think it's going to be just millions in people's accounts. I think that you're going to get paid a really good wage when you go to work, way beyond what people can imagine. and that you're going to work way less, and people are going to work because they want to work. It's not going to be this whole, like, your whole world, your whole life is dedicated to being a slave for somebody. It's going to be different than that. But it's not going to be just all of a sudden they're going to just dump millions of dollars into these accounts of these people who are not healthy mentally. People are so emotionally and mentally unstable and not healthy. And so many people are recognizing it and calling themselves out and, really trying to do better and see, because you don't really have much choice but to see the truth when all this energy is coming into the planet, unless you're very good at blocking it out, which, there is a lot of people. There's a lot of people who are surrounded in the dark. They've got a lot of dark entities around them that keep them, focused on negativity and division and stuff. And there's gonna be a lot of that in the cities, a lot of lost people, a lot of kids. They're so fucking lost. And not even, now we've got these people who are just coming out attacking gay people, attacking trans people. It's like a free-for-all. Oh, now I'm going to just say what I really think. And just really hateful and rude, which just brings more hatefulness in. It's like you got to learn to just accept everybody for their own, everybody gets the opportunity to come in and live the way they are, the way they want, the way they're led to live. Nobody has to live the way somebody else wants them to live, or somebody else is comfortable. So you need to live this way to make me comfortable. That's not going to be like that. And people who need to hold on to that, they'll be the ones who will go. The people who are able to stay strong in who they are. And it's hard. I'm seeing some people really having some hard times, that in those communities is this is going on. It seems horrible, but it's going to be good in the long run, because it's going to build a lot of strength up in these people of their own self-identity and to pull free from the group. But it's really hard to, see some of this go on. But then you have these really strange things too. Like there's a huge battle going on with the different colors of people in Egypt. And I guess something all started because now they put out some movie and it's an Egyptian person, but they're making him look like a darker skinned person. And an Egyptian person is, like a lighter than, it's all different, like all these different groups, like Middle Easterners, the India, all these different, and some people who are tribes people don't want to be called Indians. And so to me, it's like the original tribes, the original people, it all came from certain groups. Yesterday, I started watching this movie that was on Netflix, and it was Vikings. And all of a sudden I was like, oh my gosh. So it was right after that Netherlands thing where, it just keeps being, where did white people come from? And so over there, and remember, it's all different ages and stuff. But this, I was like, man, were the Vikings white? Were they huge? And were they there just to go in and conquer? Because that all makes total sense to the super soldiers of bringing in, the creation of the white people, of what they're, what they were trying to do. I think I've said all along, I think it's like strip the soul out of people by, removing the melanin. And I think that's why you have people who are just so cut off from themselves, independent on religion. They don't feel their own soul inside of them. But, like the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I said something about that guy. It was in Kansas where that kid went to the wrong house. I guess he went to a terrace rather than a street. So the way they do these streets, you got terrace, you got drive, you got street. It's like, fucking get more creative, okay? And so he went to the wrong one, went to the wrong house, ended up shot and in the hospital 2 times in the head. And it is a huge amount of people, reacting to this. This is outlandish. They haven't arrested him, nothing. And so the streets are full of protesters doing a vigil outside of his house. And which, that's going to get the neighbors and stuff too. But somebody had shared the phone numbers to call. So I called the one phone number, which calls the Kansas City Police Department, and they just redirect you. It's not their problem. They just redirect you to the prosecutor's office. You call that one and you just go round and round and round. Even if you get a person, they just hang up on you. So I think they're being really flooded because it's outrageous. Just like that other guy who did that fucking crime, and then they just don't do anything. It's like, what in the hell? That guy, like, you don't just go to your door and just start shooting. You have got paranoia problems. Like, you've got serious mental issues. If that is your response to someone knocking at your door, you look out, you see they're dark, and your response is to just start shooting. Like, that is a mental disorder. If you are so scared of dark people, then you have got, that is called paranoid. Like, you have to go in and get treatment. And, and treatment is just bullshit anyways. Like, I just saw this girl who was bawling her head off because she had to go off of the medicine. She's been on, all these people have been on these pills for years and years and years. Like, years and years and years and years on antidepressants. Didn't just do them for a couple months. No, they've become dependent, reliant on anxiety and depression medicine. And this girl, hers was Abilify, I think, and it was giving her Parkinson's. And so she had a cold turkey it or something, her doctor said, which I don't understand. Why wouldn't you wean it off? Weaning down off of antidepressants is horrific enough. But all these people who are trying to go off of these, it's fucking horrible. Like, it's no shit, fucking horrible. And so she's bawling, and she's like being flooded with all these emotions that have been held back. And she was like, I'd rather have Parkinson's than go through what I'm going through. And the pain, and like, it's a lot. And so you have, all of that's going to be going on. We got all of these people in the cities that are just like furious and frustrated and, have no connection. And so got all that going on. There is going to be, movement towards the freedom cities. Like, I'm fucking listening as soon as I hear. There was somebody who was just saying that they went into a med bed in Delaware, and she was talking about it, and she was saying it was the Tesla med beds. But I was like, okay, I think that she's got to be talking about the EES ones, not the regular med bed, the military ones. So I don't know, but fuck, as soon as I hear there's one, I'm going for that for sure. I'll fucking go to the freedom cities. But so you have these women, like this woman, I just saw this video, and she's outraged because of women who are outraged by Dylan. Like, like the women have got a problem because they can't just let Dylan be Dylan. And it's like, Dylan can go be Dylan. Dylan is the one who is coming up in everybody's face. Nobody's going and searching Dylan down. Dylan's the one who is coming in, like a fucking knocking on everybody's door. He is the instigator for social to me, disdain, like a social argument, like to create division. And I'm really kind of just Drew Barrymore is kind of, I don't know, kind of like just a pathetic kind of sellout or something. And her whole episode with Dylan, and it's like, girl, you are just a pansy. Like, do you have anything that you stand up for or believe in, or you just bend over for everything and everybody? And I don't know. But this one woman is so outraged. Like, how dare? Like, what is wrong with all you women? You can't just let Dylan just go and be Dylan. It's like, nobody gives a fuck about fucking Dylan. Dylan is the one. It's the corporations. It's all of this push. And it is weird. It is like, how many women just sit back and just like, let us be treated like shit. Make fun of us. come into the bathrooms. There is more going on with the sports things, because now there's people who are just not way up there in the sports stuff, but are just more, competitors in different areas, and they're getting overridden. And so they're speaking out now and saying, we should have spoke out sooner. But the push just keeps coming. And then there's these women like, how dare you? I mean, there's literally women out there telling other women that they have got transphobia and stuff. And it's like, for one thing, Dylan is like, if he wants to call himself trans, okay, fine. He's in the transition, but he's very much shows all his business. And he's very much a dude dressed as a girl who wears makeup. You can see all his stuff. He shows it. He is not fucking living life as a woman. He is living life as to make a joke, to be a mockery. And, and this administration loves that, so anyways, I don't know. I mean, it is going to be just more anger, more bitterness, more division. And, something is just going to all of a sudden just explode it. And it's all going to go, it's going to become a big, it's going to become obvious, I think, which side you should be on and which side you're choosing to be on. And it isn't about sides, but it is about, it is like claiming your own power or something, to acknowledge, like Dylan is not representing women. He's not representing young girls. He is a guy making fun of those characters. Just like I said, in all the movies and stuff, how many characters were just to create a stereotype. I see so many videos now, so many of these really effeminate guys. Even the blue hair, the one who I said that I had seen the other day where he's like, I'm never doing my hair blue again. And he's one of them who's speaking out now. But a whole bunch of these feminine gay guys too. And they're like, I am so sick of people asking me about my transition and stuff. I'm just a feminine man who likes other men. And it's like, what is your problem with accepting me? Like, why can't I just be me? And, and that is a thing. And there's this other one too, and he is quite a character. And he gets attacked in his comments where people, I'll tell him that he is being like a stereotypical gay, flamboyant guy, and gives all the rest of gay guys a bad name and stuff. But then you see all these other gay guys coming out who are super feminine, who, are just like, I'm just a feminine guy. Like, I'm just living my life. Like, and, and then plus those people have to accept themselves. They have to go through that whole process, but there's a lot of people who can't accept themselves and other people around them who don't accept themselves. And then they feel like they need a transition. But there is more stuff coming out now, even in court cases. There's a guy fighting his ex, and he's in Texas. And at 2 years old, he had twin boys, and 2 years old, the wife decided that the one was a girl and needed to transition him. And oh my gosh, the story that guy has got going, it's crazy. But the courts are, they want these things to happen. They want people to be on pharmaceuticals forever. They want people to have to procreate in labs and stuff like that. So of course they're going to be on the side of the person who is in that creation, not the person who's creating an independent person who appreciates and accepts themselves. Like, there's a big difference. And that is a big part of who we're fighting right now, are these people who feel very justified because they've been told that they're the victim, they're the minority, and that all of us are against them. And, they've just all been misled. And so the biggest part is you have to learn to accept yourself. You have to learn to love yourself. It doesn't fucking matter about anybody else in the world. Believe you me, you can be in a room full of people who love you and still fucking hate yourself. That's 100% possible. So people have got to see it comes from inside. You want to feel better, you got to go inside. And if you're constantly thinking, that something is wrong with you, and that is not on the same as healing. There's a big difference of wanting to feel good in life. I just saw this girl, and she was a young girl, and she was having this conversation with her boyfriend, and she said that she's whining and crying about like life's so sucky, I wish I'd get a different, all this stuff. And a real beautiful blonde girl, looks like she's tall and thin. And so her boyfriend says to her, what is it going to take for you to be happy? Like, you have a great job. You get to sleep till 8 every day. You don't even have to get up and leave to go to work. You get to work right here in your house. You have great parents that love you. You make a lot of money. You have a great play. Like, he's going through all the stuff she has. And she got mad. She got real mad at him. And she called herself out for being comfortable in that victim. I just want to be the victim. I just want to feel sorry for myself. And so many people, like yesterday, I said something to somebody. I didn't even know I was fucking pressing that button either. I mean, I do have that attitude. Stop being a fucking victim. But anyway, she blocked me. And all I had done was say, she said, she's stuck in Delaware or something, I don't know, someplace, and they get medicinal weed, and she gets medical for her fibromyalgia, and now they're charging, because they only have this one store, they're charging $60 for 1 gram of a cartridge. And so I just messaged and said, move to Washington State. And that's all. I just went about my day. And she came in like, oh my God, how I can't even afford that, but I'm supposed to just move. I mean, how ridiculous is that? Like, just going on. And so, to me, it's like, well, you got to live what you want. What is it you want? You got to be in a community that is serving you. If that community is not serving you, and you have to believe in yourself. Like, if that's what you want to be somewhere where there is, natural medicine available more, and it is at a better price, then that would be your direction. That's the desire that's leading you. And then you have to trust the universe and stuff. You have to trust. You have to set your intention. You started in the movement. You start going, yeah, I'm fucking going to move. Like, why am I sitting over here? Like, I could move somewhere, and I could, the whole thing opens up of possibilities. And so, oh, sweetie. Oh, she looks rough, man. Anyways, I'm going to go and just tend to her. Like, I swear, you just don't know. I mean, Debbie knows, like, you just don't know what day is the last day, and, I don't know, just this whole fucking thing just burnt out. But, anyways, all this stuff is going to keep going. There's going to be a lot of division. There's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of anger, a lot of violence, a lot of people trying to figure out, like, they're out of confusion. And so, again, stay safe, and you're never going to go wrong working on yourself. And that girl did say after, she was upset about her boyfriend saying that, and then she did wake up and start going, like, realizing about the gratitude, and everybody's on antidepressants, and everybody's got so much, and nobody's happy, and what's wrong, and all of that stuff. And that's the thing that makes your life better, that when you heal those things that are holding you back, it isn't like you can't live your life without healing. I lived the better part of my life without healing. But it is, once you do the healing, it changes your life into a better way of existence. Like, you just live better, you just live happier. Even though, like, this is a big downer, of how this just drags on, and isolation in the house, sick animals, and nobody to talk to, and just the whole thing, it's just, I'm just sick of it. But that doesn't mean that it isn't, it's not out of fear or, I guess just different. Like I'm not having the same things that I see other people talking about. So to me, you can improve how you feel about yourself, how you look at things, how you look at your relationships, how you look at other people by doing your healing. And you can change your relationships from being toxic into being healthy. And it's simple, learning how to love yourself. It's not like anybody else has to do anything outside of you. You just have to learn how to love yourself. And I think most people think, well, I like myself, but really when you get down to it, no, most people don't. Most people can't even tell 5 things that are good about themselves. They don't really see positive things about themselves. And it is all by a distortion in the programming and the indoctrination. It is created so that you don't see good things about yourself. You don't feel good about yourself. And so when you start making those changes and really trying to figure out about you, and you start trying to follow your desires, so many people don't follow their desires because they're trapped in a system of making money and trying to become a success. And but you have to redecide, what is a success? Is a success somebody who has a big fancy house but never gets to be there, spends all their time at work, doesn't have personal relationships because they spend all their time with work people? Is that success? Is what people have got to start seeing for themselves. What do you want? What do you want out of your life? How do you want to live? And those are the questions that everybody has to come to. And healing, it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. Unless you're going to the door and just shooting through the door at people, then yeah, you probably got some serious shit. But if you are just just sad and feeling defeated and always feeling like a victim, life's just out to get you, you can't get ahead, those things you can change by healing. And it just changes your attitude, your perspective, and it's just a change. But it has to happen in a natural development. It's not something you can force. It's not something like I can tell somebody. It's not like something I can hand off and here, you take it now. It's something that each person has to develop in themselves, and each person is so unique that it's going to develop different in each person. And so it's each person to figure each person out. Each person has to figure themselves out. That's what this whole thing is for. So you can see yourself, so you can understand yourself. And you're playing a role so that you can see yourself playing the role that you're playing, so you can understand yourself. If things go the way that they tell me, which is very frustrating, day after day, year after year, to sit there, and be stuck in the dark, in the shadows, especially while it seems like the conversation just goes on around you, and you're still not a part of that. You're just still sitting in there. I was like, man, it is very difficult sometimes there's everything in the physical would tell me, just stop your account, just blow it off, just go live your life, just fucking start looking at places in Mexico, go find your little ranch. Go start, moving your life into someplace different. I want to see about the freedom cities, what they're going to be offering in the areas and stuff. And, I know I don't want to live in a big city, but someplace that is outside of a city. I am definitely going to be one of those people who wants to be spread out. I have no desire to be living stacked up like sardines at all. And so, anyways, yeah, in the physical, everything in this 3D world is telling me, we don't need you here. You've got nothing worthy. You've got nothing of value here for us to hear. Or so just, and, I mean, if I were to talk to my family, they would say, oh my God, Mom, what did you think would happen? Just stop. Like, why are you even going out and saying stuff? Who are you even talking to? Nobody cares. Why don't you just focus on what, and they would definitely give me direction, what I needed to do. And, and it is something to just continue to follow your guidance when nothing else is saying, just the voices in your head. And believe me, there's a lot of times when you're just like, when they keep talking about all these people who are just so fucking crazy, it's like, well, fuck. Maybe I'm just a crazy one too, because I sit and listen to the voices in my head and I don't acknowledge what the physical shows me as much as what they tell me in my head. But, I do, argue back like, it's some bullshit. It is, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like it's easy, because it's not. It's hard. It's a challenge to keep yourself going when nobody and nothing else in this world is telling you except for you. So just remember to be your own. I just saw this story. This girl, she was talking about, she was 30 days sober. And she even bought herself a present and gave it to a sister and said, will you give it? Because they were having a big family dinner thing. And she asked her sister to give her this present as congratulations for being sober for 30 days, because it was a big deal for her. And she said, so they get together and nobody even acknowledged. She said nobody even gave a shit. Nobody was even. And so finally she said something to her mom. And she said, nobody even cares. Nobody's even proud of me or anything. And the mom said, well, why should we be proud of you for doing what you should have always been doing? And that just sent the girl into hysteria, I swear. I mean, she was crying and crying and crying. I just, why can't I have a mom that just supports me? And, all of that whole thing that starts purging out. And, just remember that we, each person, you can't just think because this person is playing this role, that is the role that you've come up with. That as a mom, that mom, she needs to do this. She needs to fill in those holes. As a dad, he needs to do this. He needs to fill. Like we start figuring out what these persons need to give us. And that is where you got to just let go of that. And you got to give it to yourself. The love that you think that someone else can give you, you can give it to yourself. And you can feel it, and it is going to be more than what that person, that person has deficits. Then you can't figure that they can give you something they don't have. But you can give it to yourself. You can absolutely give it to yourself. And I saw another girl who was also talking, and she said, she never cries, and she's going through these emotional things, and somebody had told her something, but the whole thing where she kept saying she didn't cry, because this is something that happens with a lot of people who go through things, and then they just stuff their emotions, stuff them, keep them inside. You can't feel them. You don't have time for that. No, because I did that. And I didn't know I was doing it. When I was in the dog-eat-dog world, I didn't know I was doing that until I was after one of my breakups of one of my relationship. I was in that little relationship junkie thing lifestyle for a while. And it was in between one and it was where it ended. And let's see. Oh, because it was after, that's when it was. It was after my marriage for 15 or 16 years or something. And there was so much where I had to just hold it together, stuff it in. I was like, I had to be strong. And then after we broke up and I went out with this one guy, there was a bunch of different guys, but this one guy. And I felt so rejected by him. And that brought all these tears that had been stuffed in for years. And I had no idea, like, what the hell was going on. And I was just like bawling and bawling. I couldn't control it. And I was like, why am I having such a thing about this guy? I don't even barely know him. Why am I falling apart? But that is when, I had talked to a counselor, and they said that when you're holding everything in like that, that all of a sudden, once it goes, it just goes. And, just be prepared to cry for days or weeks. Every little thing that will happen will, cause you to cry because you've got so many emotions. And you see these people out there who don't want to feel their emotions. Please just give me a pill so I don't have to feel emotions. I don't understand that because I like to feel emotions. So I don't understand wanting to hide from emotions. But if you have blocked some out at any time of your life, they're still sitting there. They're still waiting to come out. So, and all of this purging and all of this stuff that is going on is going to bring up stuff that has been hidden and stuffed away for a long, long time. And it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Like, there's no getting around it. When you're pulling up stuff from the depths of your insides, it's going to fucking hurt. And, don't be scared. Don't be scared of emotions. Don't be scared of pain. Don't be scared. And just keep remembering your soul, not this avatar that you created to go out into the world, but your actual soul is processing. Is it leaving things? It's letting go. It is deciding. It's growing. It is, it's metamorphosizing. It's a whole transformation that is occurring. So, just go with the flow and don't get caught up and you're doing something wrong, you're doing something bad, especially when you have all these people out there putting these rules, do this, do this, do this. No, follow your path. Follow, and it can be all over the place. Completely going different than what somebody else is telling you. Follow what your path. Don't try and change your path. Don't try and make it like somebody else's or anything. Just follow as things open up for you. And you could have a super bad day, and then all of a sudden it gets better, and you think, okay, well, I got through that, and then it's going to come back and hit you a couple days later. There's something else. Don't feel like you did something wrong. That's totally normal. All things that happen as you are releasing and purging. It's like everything is shuffling around inside of you and coming up and going, just keep letting it come out, And you have to face some things to let go of stuff. And don't be scared to face things. And while you're facing them, go in and change them if you want to change them. You wanted a different turnout, go in and process that. Envision how you wanted it to go. And, it's just to take control of your own psyche, your own emotional body, really, basically. And so, anyways, I'm just going to go. I feel like I just keep saying the same things over and over and over, I swear. And it definitely does feel like that energy of like, what is the point? What are you even out here singing stuff for? There's a lot of other people out there speaking. Maybe those are the ones that need to be heard, and I just need to go find my little ranch and go be quiet, and like my kids say, just go be quiet somewhere, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how things turn out. The universe will show me which direction they want me to go. That's one thing you can depend on. The universe will put you in a direction, even if it seems so stagnant and drags and drags and drags. Just rest assured, something will lead you in a direction that they want you to go. So if I'm supposed to stop doing that and just, find a place, something will happen. Something will happen. So I'm just going to go watch something and see what happens. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.